Now, we have not done a challenge video on this channel in a very, very long time. And today, that all changes. While I was sleuthing around on TikTok, I noticed a creator. I don't know who this was. I just saw this video randomly. So if this is your idea, thank you so much. If anybody knows of this person's whose idea this is, put them down below and I will tag them in a comment. And what they did was just blindfolded themselves and just randomly built a shell. And then they had to make something of that shell and build something. Now that is indeed what we are going to be doing today. Now I don't have a sleeping mask. I lost mine on top of an Italian mountain this year and I have no idea where it is. But what I do have is my neck gaiter. So I'm going to put that over my face so I cannot see. And to make things a little bit harder today, we are going to be spinning 2 wheels using a random wheel generator. And what I want to do is have one pick the architecture style and the other one to pick what kind of lot type we are going to be building. So this is what our challenge is today and what lies before us. I'm maybe going to be using some custom content, and I'm also going to pick the perfect world to put this build in once we have gone and picked what we're actually doing. But I'm looking forward to the challenge all the same. So nothing left to do. Let's get on over and let's pick what we are actually building today. You can use my code BUMPKIN at checkout on the EA app or at sims.com. I receive a small commission from your purchase and you greatly support me and the channel. Thank you so much. And so here we are at the random wheel generator, wheelofnames.com, if you do want to do this for yourselves. I've got 5 differing architecture types. We've got industrial, brutalist, Tudor, Victorian, and modern. I personally would love to either do modern or brutalist, or maybe even industrial, depending on the lot type, of course. But let's find out what style we're going to be building in today. Oh, here she goes. Oh, she's rolling. She's rolling around. Industrial. Okay, well, we'll go in with industrial for this one. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. That is on the website, by the way. They cheer you. Well, there we go. We've got industrial. Now I want to choose 5 differing lot types. So these are the 5 that we are going for the lot types. We have got a residential, a vet, a nightclub, a gym, and a bar. I thought they were all very much different from each other, unlike rental residential, bar, lounge. You get where I'm going. So let's find out what we're going to be building today. Oh, off she goes again. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but we're going to go for it anyway. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. It's great to be here. But that's what we're going to be building today. A industrial residential lot. Now, where could I build this? I have no idea. And you're going to find out in just a second. Let's get into game. And here we are in the world of Brindleton Bay, my loves, on a 20 by 20 lot that I thought an industrial build would look really good on. And it's also one of my favorite lots to build on. It really is. So this is where we're going to start this blindfolded challenge. Good luck. Good luck. I don't know how I want to go about this. I think it's a case of me holding down shift and getting some boxes going. I think that might be a good shout. And hopefully I can page up and down to get some boxes above. Here's hoping. Here is hoping indeed. Anyway, we need to prepare, don't we? Headphones off. Glasses off. Blindfold on. No, I can't see a bloody thing here. I should have maybe. Yeah, do you know what? Let me get the walls out first. Not this. Why do I look like something out of an 80s film here? Let's get the walls out. Okay. Right. Lovely. Let's go for it, shall we? Right. I need to make sure I've got my finger on the shift button, which I'm thinking is this one. Right. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm even going to look down. I can't see a thing, but I think I'm drawing boxes. I could not be. I think I drew 2 then, didn't I? Maybe. What about there? Is that good enough? Right, I'm going to page up now. And hopefully I'm up above. I'm going to do 2 more boxes just to be, you know, kind of safe. Right, hopefully I've done something there. If I haven't, then yeah, good luck. Is that all I did? I wanted to draw more than that. Right. I fear that's a bit no. We're gonna come up here and we're gonna do 2 more boxes to make it better. Right, okay. 1. Hopefully. And 2. Let's have a look. I didn't at all. I'm honestly, I know I'm blindfolded, but that was pathetic. That was pathetic. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it. I want more. I want more on top. We're going ahead again. Right. Now, hold the right button down, Aiden, for goodness sake. Right, here we go. Maybe. And here. Right. Did that work? Oh, not the wall. Right, we're going to try and work with that. I think that is enough. I don't know what we're going to do there. I think we can just connect that in, to be honest with you. I mean, what are we going to do here, you know? No idea whatsoever, but it's a good place to start, isn't it? He says, when he did a 1-tile cube. Not that. But we're going to move on, and we're going to try and make something of this now. So let's try and crack on, shall we? So I'm not allowed to move any of what I've already put down. This has got to stay the same way. I'm quite proud of me coming back here to the same length. You've done so well. Okay. What could we do here? I'm feeling this as like an old factory of some kind or an old warehouse. So maybe if we go along the routes of that, we could do something. So we're not allowed to take away walls, but we are allowed to add them. So I'm wondering if I could put you there. Do I want to do... I was going to say, like, put a wall here and have a slidey door on this moment. Because we do have these, which could, like, hide away this kind of entrance that comes into the garden, which I'm thinking is going to be the garden. Putting this slidey door here. Not in this colour, I don't think. I don't know what we're going to use it in. I probably want to go darker with it. Darker brick. Okay, right. We're getting somewhere. We've got somewhere at least. If I can come out one more there to balance out the other side, I'm not obviously allowed to get rid of that, but what I could do is bring this all the way down to here maybe. I think I'm going to do that. Bring that all the way around to there. So there's kind of these like 2 warehouses that are going to be one. Like the Spice Girls said, to become one. You know, I could come all the way in and connect it in like that. That's still keeping all of the walls that were there, and that's giving us maybe a decent enough warehouse shape to start with this entrance that comes all the way through and connects into the back and side garden. We could make the garden bigger here. Right, this might work, but I think a floor plan is probably what we're going to need to progress. I would have definitely liked this a bit wider here, but again, you know what we're not allowed to do, and that's remove these walls. So, a floor plan is needed. This would be the one and only entrance coming through. Right, I need to think about a floor plan, and I'll come back to you when I've put something together. So this is how we're going to go about it, I think. What I want is to have the bedrooms downstairs. We want to make the best of these views that they're going to be able to see out the back here. So we've got 2 of these bedrooms here, each with a shared bathroom. So I'm going to try and put a door in between them, and they can have a shower, a toilet, and a sink in there each to share. And then this is going to be the main bedroom with its own ensuite over here. This is where I'm going to be putting the entrance. So you coming through this way. I am probably going to put maybe some bifold doors here that's going to open out onto the garden. So you can make this into a bit of an entertaining space. And it kind of just opens the whole house up to the elements, which is what I want, I do believe. And then upstairs, a very much open plan living and kitchen and dining area with a small toilet up here, just a toilet and a sink, just so there is an option for them to use that up here. One of these, I think I want to make this into like a media room. I don't want to put a TV out here. I want this to be all about the views and the entertaining that way. So they can have a separate little snug to come in, watch TV, do what they want in there. And then a home office in the other one. I think that's a nice layout. I think it makes sense. I just don't know where I want to house anything just yet. And I don't know what the hell I want to do with this building from the outside just yet either. I know I want to cover it in brick. I am going to be using some custom content, but we need to make this look a little bit more warehouse-like. We really do, or ex-warehouse. So I might just take some inspiration from the shelves around me. I tend to do that a lot when I build as well, just so it kind of fits in nicer. Don't like the wallpapers or the windows, but it does feel like an old warehouse, and we are not that far away from that either, so I think that will tie it in quite nicely indeed. We also need to think about the rooms below. I would love some kind of glass ceiling over this area, but because of how I've cut off the walls here, I'm not going to be able to do two separate glass roofs because it just won't break it up or make sense on the top. So I don't know how I want to go about that either. Here's hoping. Bloody hell. What we need to do first, I want to get in some half walls. I really do. I think that would be the ample amount. I think what I want to do is have a taller bit through the middle here. Is this going to turn it into Art Deco territory? Not really, no. And then do two smaller ones on each side like that. Yeah, I think we can get away with that. Right. And then I did that because I would like to make the front a little bit more interesting. And I'm thinking I could do that by, let's go taller here on these parts. They could be balconies. I mean, they're very small balconies, but they could be if they wanted. Wouldn't mind a balcony off of the living area. So maybe we could even make that apparent. Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm going to go down that route. That gives them some outside space without having to come downstairs as well. Good thinking, Batman. Thank you, darling. Thank you, my sweet. If I can wrap you here, this was my thought. Just to make it a little bit more dynamic from the outside. Yeah, that's worked for me. You know, it's just made it look a little bit more interesting. That being said, I think what I want to do is do that and that. And maybe that and that. Yeah, it's just made it look a little bit more dynamic. We're going down that route today. Yes, we are, darlings. Yes, we are. Right, what am I doing now? Oh, we wanted a balcony space, didn't we? Probably want to come out around about that much and go to there, like that. And then I can grab you, plonk you on top like this, and then they have indeed got some kind of outside space there. I don't know what fence and stuff I want to use there just yet, so I'll keep it like that for now. But what we also need is a fence to wrap around the lot. Now, I'm not really keen on many of the fences in The Sims 4, and I'm not too sure if this would fit the vibe here. I think it needs to be a half wall. I think we'll go down the route of using a half wall instead, and then I can just use maybe the same brick as what we're using for the build itself. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's do that instead, please. Thank you very much for coming, but you are not needed. I think I'm going to start it there, actually. Yeah, just to make that pop at the front there, that little bump out. Go across here, my love, and then we'll stop this one exactly where we were going to. Okay, that can work for me. Right. Now, to bring this to life, we need some industrial-esque looking windows. I would like to maybe mix in some modern windows, or we'll see. I want to try and keep it as warehousey looking as possible, rather than teetering off into the modern kind of edge, you know? But let me choose that, get the windows on, and the wallpapers, and we'll put it around together. Wallpapers, windows, doors, chosen, thriving, darlings. We're going to go and use Felix's estate brick in this tone here. I went darker in the beginning, but I kind of want it to look as similar as it possibly can to the shell that we were looking at earlier. So I think that's going to work quite nicely. And I'm going to use this absolutely everywhere, apart from on some pieces that I will show you in just a second. So let's get this wherever it may wish to go. and then we'll change it up. I'm also going to do a different wallpaper on the balcony area. I think I'm going to go for a bit more of a black accent there. So we're going to keep it as it is for now. Some things had to change. I'll talk you through them once we get to them. Let's get these wallpapers and windows on first. So door change. I had a garage door here and it looked good. I'm going to use this slidey door instead though. Does that look unbalanced if I do it like that? It does. It looks better there. Yes. Okay. Now, these are perfect windows for an industrial build. These are from Pierre Sim's Winter Garden collection. So I'm going to be using these. Is that balanced in the middle there? Yeah. And they are going to be up quite high. The only problem is I had to put one dead center, which is here. And it kind of cuts off on the edge here, but we're just gonna have to forgive it. They had a warehouse to work with. What more do you want from them, to be honest? We're also going to be using these ones, once again from Pierre Sim's Winter Garden. And I did put them over on this side, but one of them goes into that weird cube that we're not allowed to get rid of, and one of them goes against a wall. So I was like, goodbye. We're just going to have a plain black moment there. Maybe I'll put a little planter or something there, just fill it with plants. That'll help balance out the aesthetic a little bit better for me. A bit of signage from the old factory itself. And I'm going to plop it right above this central window at the front here. I do like that. I do like that indeed. Now, we're using these around on these sides too. I'm going to be popping one in the center there. And the other one is going to go directly below it into this bedroom here. Is that correct? No. Let's move you along, get rid of that wall. And then this one right there, you are coming around to this side and you are going there. So it's all balanced, in line, and not at the right height as those windows up there. How very dare it. Let's get you up to that height. You know, I'm feeling the industrial vibe. Same again on this side into the entertaining area. I'm going to flop one of them there. That is correct, isn't it? Yes. And then the other one is going on this point here. Lovely. Lovely, beautiful job. And then this is where things had to change. The main bedroom. The main bedroom, there was just no good area for natural light coming. We are surrounded by walls here, and then I had the ensuite in this area here, whereas now I've put the ensuite there instead, allowing us to put on a double door using Harry's brownstone collection and 2 big windows as well. So that's going to flood enough natural light into this bedroom so it doesn't get dark, it doesn't feel too dark and whatnot. Vibing, thriving, all of the above. Thank you. And then I'll use this final one directly below here, going into the main entrance area. And then using the same brownstone doors, let's get the grid on. I think I popped them around about there. We did 1 on this side and 2 on that side. So it balances in the middle and gives us that view that we wanted from this particular lot. Well done to us. Down to this level, I'm going to do some double doors from this bedroom. So there's direct access out from here. Am I going to do that? Because I am putting doors here and here. Do you know what? I'm just going to do a window. There is a window going above it, and it is the brownstone. I might want to do that, you know. What would it look like if I just carried this window all the way across the top there? Oh, do you know what? I kind of like that. Again, I just want to get as much of that view in as possible. So in fact, I might just extend this, have this as the media room, and then have this as the office, because I think the office would benefit from that view a lot more than a media room. We went for this front door into there, just a little bit different to the others, and I'm going to flop it there. And I'm also just going to do some windows here. I fought against doing bifold doors there. It doesn't really make sense now that they've got a balcony, and also because there's the front door right there. It was voided. But I am going to flood some natural light in by doing that and getting some lovely windows on that point. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy. However, as I said, we do need to get some doors going into these parts here. The main bedroom, it doesn't matter because I'm going to do an inside door for this one. But I would like 2 doors for here and here. And I think I'm going to use these ones. These are the Harlux doors from Harry. Or Harry and Felix, sorry. And I might pop them like that. A bit industrial, but I think it would match in with the vibes quite nicely. One thing I do want to do to tie the black in a little bit more is to get black trims on all of the available half walls. So if I can flop them around, including the wall that we've done around the build itself. And I would also like a trim here to hide that ugly white wall thing we've got going on there. Now this might be a spoiler for what's coming on Friday. I've downloaded some new custom content. We're going to be building a camper van, my loves. Do I want to do that all the way around or just on the front? It looks great just on the front, to be honest. Let me just have a little... Oh, actually, let's give her a little wrap around, shall we? Yes, of course. Lovely. Do I want to do it at the top? Again, I do like it, but I don't like it in the middle bit. Oh, in fact, we'll keep the middle bit free and then it gives that signage its own moment. I might bring it back here, though. Just hold shift down and it'll only do that bit. Yeah, that's nice. Now I need to figure out what flooring I'm going to be using here. I would like to match in with this red brick as much as possible. And I think this one does really well. Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, let's do that all the way through. Definitely want to get some trees and stuff at this point as well, but that just helps settle it into the lot, I think. Greenery is going to be our friend here, so we definitely need to make that apparent. I am definitely going to be putting in some lovely trees. And for the roof texture itself, I think more along the lines of that tone kind of fits in a little bit better. Yeah, I think we can get away with that. I would like to add some kind of skylight in here, but I don't know how I'm going to go about that just yet, so I'll leave it for now. Now we need to figure out not only what brick we're using in these bits here, but also what we're going to be doing with this balcony. It needs to be glass. It really does. So I think I'm going to go to our old friend and pop this one in all the way around, right up to there. Again, unfiltered views then, because I didn't want anything solid there, because we can still see right out onto the water. Which is what I wanted. I did. Now what I want to do is try and pick some kind of texture we can use on this. It just needs to be something black. Yeah, I think that will work. Looks a bit weird from like coming through the wall. Let me just get rid of this. And then put in a pillar there and a pillar there. I think we can get away with that. Doing it. Doing it, loves. Absolutely doing it. Right. Okay. So I need to get my thinking cap on because I need to get a texture for this edge going all the way around. And also, I need to pick out what flooring we're going to be using for the actual garden and courtyard area itself. So this is what I've gone for. We've gone for like a rough sort of concrete for the outside. Very industrial, very vibing. And then I'm going to do some polished, smoother concrete throughout the whole place. Now I have gone ahead and put the brick wall on everything. We're going to pick out a few here and there, especially in the bedrooms, to put some kind of accent wall and stuff on, just to bring a bit of colour and a bit of softness maybe. But everything is primarily going to be that industrial vibe. And I've also just gone ahead and put the same texture as the roof itself, but I've raised the platforms up. I'm kind of feeling it. Okay. Well, what I want to do now is bring the landscaping afoot. So as always, what I'm going to do is go off into a little speed build portion and just bring a bit of greenery to the exterior and the edges of this build. So there wasn't really much landscaping to do, but I've added some greenery in nonetheless. A few trees dotted around, some hedges up the side here. I did draw in a pool, but this isn't a very big space. I want to utilize this space for like dining areas, hanging out points. So the pool just took up way too much room. So I was like, out with the pool. Not for me today. We are still going to try and make this build look a little bit more interesting. And I did try this off of camera and I like how it looks. It just brings something there. It also helps these like black lines, that dead stop. It just helps blend it in. And it looks a bit warehousey as far as I'm concerned. So let's get Harry's clean collection out because that has got some beauties of some skylights in it. Right, this is what we're going to do. Hopefully. We're going to try this live. Let's see what happens. Can I bring you to there? You to there. You to there. This will all make sense in a minute, hopefully. Then get rid of this. So that kind of swamps down. I don't want you there. Then my thoughts were to maybe just do kind of a bigger skylight over this side. And what that would do is flood light down into the stairwell, but also just make a little interest in the living area. Let's hope this is going to work for me. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Nice bit of art up on the wall there. Great. I'm going to add a couple more into these rooms over here. Not big ones, just 2 by 2 would be perfect. So that's a good spot for in there. There we go, around about there. So I'd probably want that one on the same line. We'll go with that. Let me see from the inside. Yes. I'm also going to move this platform up one more, and then we're going to crack on with the garden. I have put a door here as well, so they've got exit to be able to come out if they want to sit down by the dock or what have you, you know? I want some kind of sitting area down here. I'm not going to do a dining area because I think this balcony would work really well as a dining area. But with that being said, I wouldn't mind some kind of way to get down here. I probably want to face it that way and pull you up like this. I don't really want to do the glass railing going down here, though. I'm wondering if I could put an industrial one on without it looking weird. I mean, it doesn't really fit at the top of that glass there very well, does it? But I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this tree slightly. I'm going to put you right into the corner, just so there's a bit of space going on there. And very simply, I just want 2 3-seaters. So I'm going to do one there, like that. Oh, that's a lovely bit of room, that, with a nice big coffee table in the middle. Let's use this one. It's not the biggest, but it would match in with the vibes quite nicely. Oh, yes. We're going to put greenery in there. I would like some kind of like standing trees on this lot too. I'd like to get a bar in. So where am I going? Study, dining room. There we are. I think we can do this one. What way would we want to go? I think here. Do I want it flush? Maybe. With the Jardin floating island. I could do like that. Oh, that's a vibe. Oh, maybe Harold shot from Pierre Sim. Should we get a bit of brown going on here? I think we should. Yeah, a bit of a tan moment to bring in some of that brick. Let's do it. Or there. Along. Gorgeous. Okay, the bar area's sorted too. Let me just map out where I want to do a kind of little planting area with some raised beds. We'll use these ones from the Jardin collection. In fact, I'm going to use, I would say more of this space, but because of the stairs, we haven't really got that option. I don't want to go down to the bedroom windows. You know, I want this to have, I want their own little moment there. So here we go. Let's get some greenery around. I'm going to use Felix's hedges from the estate kit. And I'm going to flop them behind this tree, which I did move slightly more forward now that the pool's not here. I think it kind of made sense to do that. And now, hydrangeas. I love a hydrangea. So I'm going to use the white ones and just pop a bit of colour in like that. Beautiful. Ficus, where are you, my darling? We're going to flop you into this corner there. And then I'm going to use this one. I am just going to put it right in front of the window, just for a bit of privacy. I'm putting curtains or blinds up there anyway, but above the bar area, I'm going to hang this one. It's planted there. Again, just to punch a bit of greenery into this area. Another hydrangea over here. gorgeous, gorgeous things underneath of that tree. Beautiful. And then around here, a couple of these up underneath of that window there, herbs and whatnot. And then we're going to do a little seating area here. I'm going to put 2 of these chairs side by side, and then I'm going to use this acrylic table with chairs that look like they could be outside as well. That's what we're doing. You are going to come here, and I'm going to put you right there, out the way of where the door can open, but just somewhere where they can see a bit greenery from the windows or through the windows themselves. I'm going to use another ficus just to hide the seating area as much as possible. And plop this other one just down by the side of it like that. That's the vibe. Now I'm going to use these lights that I've used out the front of the build to pop around areas here. Can I do one there then? And there as well. Do I need another one there? No, but I would like a couple coming down here. Is that the right height? Yes. So one right by the main door and one kind of like there. So it kind of lights up this whole alley. Let's have a look in the nighttime, shall we? It gives off enough light. I think that could work. We're going to go up to the balcony area now to finish off the exterior. What I would like here is a dining space and also a couple of lounges. Tables and chairs. I'm going to go for the Grove table, but also the Jardin chairs. Yes, the Jardin dining chairs. And I am going to push it in just a little bit further. Maybe scoot it over there a little bit too. Yeah, that's the vibe. I'm not going to do a barbecue or anything here. It's not that kind of establishment, but I would like to get in some lounges. And I'm probably going to go ahead and use the Grove lounges as well, so it kind of matches in, but also use the cushions to go on top of that. And I think we'll bring a bit of that browner vibe here too, by placing them like that and getting them in a better position. So you would probably want to be there. You're going to go there. But balanced, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good enough spot. I might even, actually, I'm going to drag these a bit closer to the view itself. Because then what I could do is utilize the space behind it to put greenery. Yeah, but low greenery because I do want this view to be unobstructed. Very important. In fact, I'm going to go right up to the door with these plants. I'm going to go to there with that one, and I'm going to do another one just there like that, just to bring a little punch of green up here. There is enough room for some seating, to be honest, just so there is an option for another little seating area, you know. What's the views like from there? Oh, beautiful. Very simple, but again, that is my jam, isn't it really? Let's bring that light up here too. I'm going to pop you there. Wow, look at us making a start. So now comes the all-important furnishing part, my loves. I think we'll start on the main entertaining space itself. I did kind of want a fireplace in here, but I just don't know where I could put one. I could move this door, you know. I could even have the door to this toilet in the media room and go for a smaller door. What fireplace though? Let's pick that first before I move on and choose everything else. I think we'll go for the grey. I'm going to pop it to around about, maybe a little bit further along actually, to about there, because I do want to get a dining space in here too. And we could put a sofa here and a sofa around there. There's the ticket, darlings. Right, I'm going to choose everything for this room, and you know what we're going to do. And so here we go, my darlings. I've put some new light fixtures up. We've gone for those two there. And I've also used Tud's light switches. Very industrial, very vibing. I'm going to use the same over here, actually. Just so you can turn the light on as soon as you come home. I think that would make a whole lot of sense, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. But I just love that. They remind me of school lights. Does anybody else get that vibe? My school was very old. Well, by the way that you're talking, Aiden, I'm wondering if you went to school at all, to be honest. Right, we're moving over here first. First little step, putting in that unit there with a little vinyl player on top of it. And we're going for this sofa. I just like the colour in here. I think having this tone will be a vibe, to be honest. And I can't remember perfectly where everything went, but I think this went around to about there. Yes. We put this big banana leaf behind it, just there, because it's right underneath of that skylight, so that's going to get so much sun. And I like that big shock of green. I'm very much for it. And then finally on this little bit, I put this bit around about here, like so. I just love that colour. Yeah, there we go. Nope, there's a gap. No, there's not. No, there is. Your keys, you'd lose your keys down there. You very much would. And then I wanted a little bit more of a bold print with the rug in here, so I went for that one. And I just really loved that little shock of geometric coming through into this area. And that was it for the little sitting area. I think that looks very nice. And then I pulled in Felix's Soho shelving because it's got that industrial vibe that I really wanted to come through in here. And I fixed it to, in fact, I think it was a bit more over this way. Fixed it to around there and put lots of stuff up on the shelves as well. Oh, I'm for it, I tell you. Very much so. Dining room. I popped this table just because it looks a little bit industrial, like underneath and stuff. And I really love the vibe of that. And then I went for these chairs just because I think that they matched in quite well with that kind of like iron sort of look. And I can just feel the industrial vibes coming from it, to be honest with you. I tried to get an island in here, but it wasn't enough room. It just looked a bit cramped. So I decided against it. But yeah, tried, didn't succeed. So here we are. Let's get the counters out first, shall we? So we started there. It keeps trying to go up on top of the platform outside. How dare it? And then I moved this one. This is the Halcyon kitchen, by the way, from Harry. And we're going to grab you to there. We popped the sink in that one. And then the dishwasher in that point there. Fought against doing cupboards. One reason, not much space for cupboards, to be honest with you. And I don't want the bulk of it on the walls in here. I want the top level of this to be kind of very free flowing. So it's just all about that view. Minus this light, of course, but I really wanted that hanging over the table that low. I just think it adds something. And again, it's kind of industrial as well, which was very nice. And a bin. I know, gorgeous, but I popped you around about there. I wish adding bins wasn't a bloody thing. I wish we could have inside cupboard ones. I would very much vibe with that. I really would. And I've really realized not a lot of CC creators make bins, considering how much they are used in The Sims. I'd love to see some bins from some of my favorite CC creators, please. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. I love how that looks. I think it is absolutely perfect for in here. Beautiful. Okay, well, we're moving on. I think we're going to make a start on the media room itself. So I'd like a big TV in here, a nice comfy seating area. But I think this is going to be a little bit fiddly to do. It might mean I have to get rid of one of the windows or something, but that's what we're doing now. Righty-ho, here we go. A few things did have to change. I'll talk you through them in just a second. Now, let's get some lighting in here first. I decided on using these. These are from Tuds. And I just like the industrialness of them. They look very industrial, but they also look like a bit of an art piece, a bit of a statement up on the wall. So that's what we're doing. You can obviously maybe see the floor plan's changed. Where's the toilet gone? Never you mind, you nosy cow. No, I'll show you in a minute. Don't you worry. We're doing another modular sofa because I just think this area needs it for the media room, which is like a cinema room, really. That's what it is. I didn't put any music or anything in here just because we've got a vinyl player in the main living area, so it didn't really make sense. So that's what we're going for there. That sofa, by the way, is from Charlie Pancakes, and it comes in so handy, and it's got some lovely swatches. We're using an in-game item. We're using the Casanova Kit TV in here. Just a nice big space. I do enjoy it indeed. I'm going to put up a little bit of art up on the wall. A radiator. I have gone around and put some other radiators everywhere else as well. Just so it fills it up nicely. But that's it. And with the skylight and stuff in here, I just think it sets a mood. I decided on putting some like black paneling up against where the sofa is as well, just to give it a bit of a vibe. But I'm all for it. I really am. Now I talk you through what had to change. So we're going for a bigger bathroom, and I am going to put a shower in here now too. I knocked down this wall here that was going into this office. The office was just massive. I didn't like the shape of it. It needed to be a bit more interesting. So I've put a door around here, the entrance, and I've put this kind of slidey door that comes from Felix Anders' Soho collection, just so it looks like you could shut yourself off of the office if you were doing some work, etc. And it kind of made this interesting shape. And what I decided to do with that shape was this. We're going to put the desk there. Of course, you would want to be looking out at that view while you're working. I just thought that was perfect. A little plant over in the corner here. And I thought this little weird bit in here lended itself well perfectly to a little reading nook. So using some earthy tones, one of them I put up on the wall behind it, as you can see. This would just be a vibe. Imagine coming here to get away from the house and just read, have a little drink. Oh, I tell you what, I'd be absolutely for it. And then I'm going to put that picture up there. Look, it's proper hidden away from the house as well, that is. I love that. There was something else that I did change. Well, it was very subtle. I moved the dining table along one just so this channel was bigger on this side. And it still gives us more than enough space over in the kitchen area. I also pulled out this print from the industrial kit, put that up on the wall there. That was probably a remnant of what was there before, this being a factory and whatnot. But I'm happy with that. I really am. I'm going to quickly knock together a quick bathroom here, and then we're going to get downstairs and make a start on the main bedroom and the entrance hall. So, one little bathroom up here, but we managed to squeeze quite a bit in here, really. And I think it's going to flow fine. And it looks nice. All of the above. Very happy with that. I am debating about putting a skylight over the shower. Shall we just do it while we're here? Do you know what? Let's bloody do it. It's going to have to be a small 1x1 tile, though. There's the shower. And there is the skylight. Oh, do you know what? Let's have a look from the inside. Oh, that just adds a little bit of je ne sais quoi bleu, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm into that. And then downstairs, we're going to finish off with these 2 rooms today, and I'm going to carry on with the rest of it tomorrow. It will be in the same video for you, don't you worry. But it's getting quite late here, and I want to go and rest my eyes. So here we are. Right, what we're going to start with, we'll start with the entrance hall first. This was quite simple, really. I did a piano. I thought a piano down here would be the perfect little spot for it. Looking rather nice there. I put a solid wall here as well, just so it looked a little bit structurally sound, and it stops people from falling to their death. If they fall off here, they've only got themselves to blame. That's all I'm going to say. So along here, I just wanted to do a nice row of plants. So I did that, and then I put in a little bench just by the door area here, just to get any kind of shoe on or coat. I've put some coat pegs up here with the light switch to open up all the lights downstairs. And that is how I left it. Very bare, but I didn't want too much here at all. I think it's got just enough of everything already, and I'm happy. What we did do was the main bedroom, though. Then you're thinking, what the hell is going on over here? My thoughts were this was maybe one of the platforms that a bit of machinery or something was on before, and I've covered it in that kind of metal, and that's going to act as our bed platform. So I'm going to pop this bed up here like that. We've got 2 lovely lights either side of it there. And then what I did was this shelving unit that was kind of at this height, just for some storage and stuff, you know, from the bed. I'm not doing any bedside tables, so I thought it kind of made sense to have that over there. A little leaning picture in the back, like that. And then I wanted to give this some privacy. It was important for me. This is kind of open into the garden. It would look straight onto your bed and stuff. So what I did was use these dividers. Did I put them this way? I must have done. Like that along there. And then a little bit more privacy. with a chest of drawers that I put into that position there. Do you know what I mean? It just adds something against that. It still gets the natural light, but I'm kind of vibing with that. This wall here, I was like, what can I put here? And then I was like, what about a big landscape mirror? I just feel that that would reflect the light around the room, make it almost appear to be a window. I did debate on putting a window here because it does open out here, but we're going to go for a mirror instead. A couple of wardrobes that I slot over into this wonderful little area here. 1 and 2, like that. A full-length mirror. We're going to use these cluster of mirrors from Harry's. I think they're from the Clean collection. I do enjoy using these. I just think they look really interesting. Love that. And a little plant off onto the corner here. Again, for privacy, but also just for a pop of green into this room, you know. A radiator that I'm going to flop down to that point there. If the drawers need to open, that should be fine. I'm going to move you down a little bit lower. There we go. And there's still a few things I'd like to add in here. I tried some different lights and stuff, but nothing was really working. Maybe a few more plants on top of here, but I'm going to leave that until I get back into it. We are, however, going to move on to the bedrooms now, plus some final finishing touches in here, but it's also going to be a different day to you from what it is to me. So I'll see you in the morning. And so we're back. Different day for me, same day for you, darlings. Made a few little changes in here. I've actually put up some curtains in the bedrooms. We've gone for Pierre Sim's Stefan curtains. And I also utilised this little nook over here just for some extra storage. I didn't want to put a cupboard or anything on it, so I just kind of left it open. Put some books, some shoes and some storage boxes in there. A couple of plants up on here. And that was about it, my loves. What is that? Oh, it's the rug. It's the rug for the other bedrooms. Also furnished the bathroom and furnished this one here as well. If you remember, this has kind of got the Jack and Jill doors between the 2 bedrooms. We'll start with this one here because what I've decided to do is do a guest bedroom and then like a teen bedroom. I didn't want to do a children's bedroom. Couldn't be asked. Really couldn't. So I didn't. But yeah, nice big platform bed. Quite neutral with the colours in here, but I think that they all really work. And then I use these as shelves by the bed with these lamps either side. Now, this is a bigger bedroom compared to where I've put the teen bedroom, but the teen bedroom does have the bigger window, so that's why I've done it this way. I just thought, you know, give the guests the bigger bedroom. Guests. Anyway, rug. Is that the right rug? Yes, it is. Radiator up on the wall. And what I did with the storage, the wardrobes, I kind of surrounded the door, which I have done with the teen bedroom as well. So 2 wardrobes, a little unit over by the window here with a plant on top, and then very simply, just somewhere, a cuck chair, you could say. I heard someone call it that once because I always put chairs in the bedroom, but I like a chair in the bedroom, and not for that reason. Absolutely filth. And didn't I have a little bit of art up on the wall here behind the bed. And we've gone for like a little accent wall in a neutral tone just to make this space a nice calming retreat, you know? And I'm kind of vibing with that. I really am. Now over to the teen bedroom. So let's put the bed in first. I ended up pushing the bed quite far into the side of the wall, just so we could only have one nightstand on the side. You know, they are teens after all. They should not be getting up to filth. We all know what we were like when we were teens. Filth, I tell you. So we've gone for a nice green and this accent wall, just a nice kind of abstract landscape moment. I think it looks quite nice. I forget who does this. This is from Pierre Sim, David's apartment side table. I thought that just looked a little bit like contemporary and with a little nod to the industrial side of things as well, being metal and all. And then I decided on doing a little shelf above the bed, one with a stereo, some books and a little statue. I thought that looked quite nice. And then to help out with the privacy, because if you remember, this is quite like you can look right into this bedroom. This doesn't give too much privacy, but there is an object in between the bed and the window. The curtains would be closed anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but that's the vibe. And then I used this rug that's just got a little pop of red in the knit fabric. What should we do first? Let's get the wardrobes in first. So I popped you to there. You went right to there. Now they do hit the door frame, but the doors can still open. Just want to make that apparent. So the doors can still come through there and open easy peasy, but then there's loads of storage in this room as well. And then I wanted to add in a small desk into this room. So I had to go for an in-game item because I haven't got many like small CC desks. I would like to find some. Just with a laptop on in case they want to be a bit mobile. Didn't put a lamp here though, but I think adding something like this in a softer colour, unless I can accent over the black. No, let's go for a softer colour. Let's match him with the kind of light sword tone. That's nice. I like that. I like that indeed. But yeah, that was the rooms. My darlings, this is complete. Our blindfold challenge. I think we did well, not with the actual blindfolding process, of course, because that was a mess, wasn't it? I had to keep going back to do it again. One thing I did add as well is an outdoor bin. I've put it in this like unused space, so it's kind of hidden away, but still accessible and stuff. So yeah, here we go. Let's have a little tour around then, shall we? Lovely. So an old warehouse that's been turned into a nice 3-bedroom, modern, industrial family home. And I think it vibes here, you know. I do. I think it absolutely vibes. Let's have a little look from the back. Let's see this shot. Oh, would you look at that? Lovely balcony moment. Very nice indeed. Yeah, I'm into it. We've got all of those skylights on top as well, flooding in the house with natural light. Let's have a little walk through them. We'll start in the gardens. So we'll come through this way, into this bit. And then obviously we got the bin down that way. And then this kind of like tunnel, we're going to say, takes us right back into the garden. A nice little sitting area around here, just in case you've got guests over and you want that. Same with the bar. We've got a nice working bar area there. Kind of vibing with that as well. And I like the fact that the bar's kind of facing in towards that way. I just think it'd be a lot nicer for the host, like looking at the guests in the house and stuff. Kind of vibing with that. And then it swings round to this way. We've got stairs that takes us up onto that balcony level that we will go and have a look at in a minute. Some nice planters down here. Some raised beds to grow whatever you like. And then this almost little perfect private nook for the main bedroom itself. Very nice indeed. I enjoy it. And then let's go up the stairs up onto the balcony. We won't look inside yet, but here's our balcony. A nice bench, a nice seating area. That cushion needs to come along a little bit, actually. With lovely views over the harbour, a nice big outside dining space, and 2 lounges to take in this view. Oh, it's cracking. Beautiful job. And then down we go again. Let's make our way to the front entrance. Let's check out the 2 bedrooms that we've just done first. So we've got the teen bedroom in here. Very nice. Their own little desk area. Their sleeping area. I like it. And lots of storage as well. And then we've got the Jack and Jill doors. That takes us into an ensuite. A shared ensuite, of course, because this one comes through and it's into the guest bedroom, which I love. I love the colours in here. I love a neutral. I think we all know that by now. Stunning. Very nice. And then to get into the main bedroom, you come through into the main entrance foyer, which is rather delicious. Rather delicious indeed. Yep, I'm enjoying that. And then you come through here into the main bedroom. So we kind of got that raised platform moment up there with the black accented walls, the privacy screen, storage over here, more storage over there, and also its own entrance or exit to get out onto their little private courtyard area. And a nice little floor length mirror there. And of course, a little ensuite for the main bedroom too. No baths in this house. Wish I kind of put a bath in somewhere, but never mind. Too late now. Then we've got that kind of mezzanine area. And then these stairs takes us up this way into a nice kitchen and dining space that opens over to these wonderful views into the living room. Beautiful. And then we've got those views and the access to the balcony through that way. And then we've got those slidey doors for a little private office moment with its own little reading nook. I'm into that. And then we've got a bathroom up on this level as well. So nice 3-bathroom, 3-bedroom home. Beautiful job. Some lovely shelves there. And then this takes us into a nice moody media room where they can come in and watch movies and chill out. Well, there we have it, my loves. Well, there we go. I would love to give this challenge a go again in the future. I really would, because I enjoyed that. So let me know if that's something that you would like down in the comment box below. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching, my loves. I'm going to be back tomorrow with some Google Earth shenanigans in the beautiful country of Italy. Leave me some lovely comments, and I'll see you all then. Goodbye.